Welcome to Pario Magazine, where I chat with individuals who have a desire to create. Today, I'm joined by an Australian pop star who has just released her highly anticipated EP, TimeBombs. Welcome to Pario Magazine, Charley.
Hi, how you going?
Good, thank you. Excited to have you here.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's a
Very
pleasure.
excited to talk today.
So we're here today to chat about your journey through the world of music and the new EP. Before we
Yes.
dive into all of that, though, do you want to tell our audience a little bit about who Charley is away from music?
Away from music. Oh my gosh, it's hard. It's hard to say who I am away from music because I feel like my whole life is encapsulated around music. And when I am not doing music, I'm either sleeping or eating. Um,
But probably still
yeah.
thinking about music while eating.
Or I'm like, okay, I'm not doing music right now, so I need to do TikToks. My life is basically just TikToks right now, which it's draining, but it's good. It's the main thing you kind of have to do in this industry. But apart from that, I love baking. I love cooking. I exercise a little bit. I love tennis. I love watching movies. I love animals.
Mhm.
I'm basic. I'm basic as fuck apart from music. So
Do you have a
yeah.
favorite thing that you like to bake?
Um Cookies. Well, I've tried to. I'm gluten free and dairy free, so I've been trying to figure out different recipes that don't taste like gluten and that are actually nice. So yeah, cookies, cakes. I tried to make a croquembouche a
Oh,
couple
wow.
years ago for my. I had like a series for my first song release. The song's called Hard for Me, so I had a series called Doing Things That Are Hard for Me. So I really challenged myself and did things that I either hated, was scared of, or that was difficult. So I made a croquembouche. Burnt my fingers so bad, but it turned out pretty good. Tasted like egg. Great.
Eh.
Yeah.
So, and then for music, when and how did you discover that particular passion?
That was so my family are very musical. My dad comes from a background. He's a drummer and he was in a band and he's done cover gigs like a lot of his life as well. So I was really raised in pop music. And my mom was in musicals. My grandpa was a tenor, my grandma was a pianist, my papa used to play trumpet, and both sides of my cousins are all very into music as well. So I was really just raised within it. Um, and then yeah, I started a band with my cousins. So that's when I kind of first started writing music when I was around 12. And it just grew from there. I didn't really realize I could do music for a living until I met someone who'd really grown himself from the ground upwards. And I was like, wait, this is possible. You just gotta put in the work. So yeah, I moved from the Gold Coast to Sydney and it's just all gone from there.
Okay. So it was kind of, you didn't really have a choice from the sound of it. It was just naturally ingrained in your DNA.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, I didn't know whether I wanted to be a nurse or someone who did Botox in people, like fillers. I was like, or a makeup artist. That was like my choices. But then music is the one thing that I feel like I don't have any sense of time when I'm writing music. And that's the best feeling when you're like, oh my God, the day's over. I could just keep doing this.
I think
So
that
that's when I knew that was right.
that's definitely the ultimate sign of a passion. Like, I find that too when I'm writing these articles up. Like, I'll be sitting there writing, and next thing I know, it's 4 or 5 in the afternoon. I'm like, where did the day go?
Wow. Yeah. I definitely think that's a sign of you're on the right path.
So we mentioned the EP Time Bombs. Can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration and story behind creating that EP?
Of course. I started writing it for the EP around 2 or 3 years ago. I always knew I wanted to release an EP. And it changed a lot. I've always just like put the different songs in the EP and was like, oh, this could be good. I never really knew the title. A lot of my music's around heartbreak because I've been through it, as a lot of people have. And at one point last year I was in Sweden and I was just having the most amazing, I met a girl over there and we just had the most insane time together, but we only had 9 days in the same place, or less. I think it was around 7 once I met her. And I felt like at some point in every relationship, I just know that it's going to end. And you love someone so hard. I love very, very hard. I'm very an open person. And I just knew it was either going to go up in flames or it's going to end or it's just going to finish at some point. And I hated that. And I've always known that, but for some reason the word time bomb stuck out at me that day. And so I wrote the song surrounding it. And then I was like, this is what I feel like about every single song on the record that I really loved. And I stuck with it for like 6 months. And my A&R was like, you should think of a different name. Like, just keep keep thinking of different names. Like, I don't know if that's the right one. And in my heart, I was like, no, this just encapsulates everything about me and everything about my past relationships. So yeah, TimeBombs EP.
Okay, yeah, like sometimes it's good to have options, but then it does get to that point where you're like, no, I just know that this is the one, and all of these other options are just going to get thrown away anyway. So I might as well just not waste my energy on those.
Exactly.
And you mentioned sort of traveling to Sweden, and for this EP, you were all over the world, LA, Nashville, and then Sweden. What led you down that path rather than sort of, let's just go to this one place and work with all the people in this location?
I think I've never really gone on a holiday. I've always gone on working holidays. Either I'm always just writing or going on a trip to do work. So I was like, I need to go different places. And I've been to Nashville and LA a couple times before just for writing music, but I was like, I want to go to Sweden because that's where pop is based. Like all of Ariana Grande's stuff, like it's so Swedish. So yeah, I just felt like Sweden was a place, and luckily my label sent me over there. And it was honestly one of the best times of my life. I felt like I just switched on mentally around that whole time. And I wrote Worst Tasting Girls around that time as well. And yeah, a lot of the songs on the EP are surrounding that time, which is crazy. So it just replaced all the old songs that were within the EP, and yeah, just fit together.
And do you feel like working with all of those different writers and collaborators sort of brought new perspectives to the music, which is why different songs got shuffled in and out of this final lineup?
I think so. I love writing with different people. I'll always have a producer with me, but sometimes I'll have a top liner as well. And I just find different people bring different sides out of you. They help you emotionally. They just come up with like different little melodies and you just work together. So I definitely have some of my favorite people that I love to work with now. And that's the magic. You can just keep creating with different people and find who your people are.
And once a song is finished, do you ever then go back to a different song after working with someone else and be like, okay, if I bring this perspective into this song, it'll make it even better?
Yes, I think I've done that with my latest release, Heartbreaker, and I Suck at Being Lonely. Yeah, 2 songs I've released, I've done that. I haven't created enough songs yet. I normally just stick with the same people and we just finish it all together, or I finish it by myself. But yeah, no, actually, I'll definitely share my songs around to my friends and see if they have any tips or any different perspectives. So it's a constant like big creative thing that I love having people involved in.
Is it sort of a case of a song is never truly finished as well?
Yes. And especially so my last release, Heartbreaker, that song, we mixed it and then it was perfect. We got it sent off to mastering, and then something, I don't know what happened, but for some reason all the harmonies were taken out of the second verse and second pre. And I heard the master and I didn't hear that change, and I like said, yes, this is good. And then I heard it like way later when it's been ingested and everything, and I was like, oh my,
Oh no.
this sucks. None of the harmonies are in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a terrifying realization so late in the situation.
Oh, it sucks, but it's, you know, a song's a song. If people like the melody, they like the melody.
Yep. And you mentioned the overarching theme of the EP being sort of love and heartbreak,
Yeah.
but then woven in that is that personal awakening of your sexuality.
Mm.
How did the EP help you in that awakening?
I don't know if the EP helped me in the awakening. I think it was just like a life experience of when I was going through it. I was also in the stage of writing everything. Maybe it was the EP, like I was writing for the EP, but that was just a huge life change for me, which I kind of thought it was coming. I always knew I was bi, but then just within that, I just realized I was so gay. So there's some songs in the EP that are from my straight days, and there's a lot of the songs in there that are from me being like discovering myself. So yeah, it's just crazy the timeline of everything and how the first song and the last song in the EP match up, which is worst taste in girls and stupid thing to say. And also how Time Bomb goes into stupid thing to say. I can't wait till you hear it. Time Bomb merges into stupid thing to say because it's kind of like they're opposites.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling.
Has that given these songs a little bit extra meaning for you personally? Because you can listen to this EP and you can see the journey you went on.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's not in the order of self-discovery. It's kind of just in the order that I think would be
The best listening experience.
the best listening experience, emotionally right and sonically right. Yeah, it's definitely weird listening back to the songs and just remembering what point in my life I was in for each of them.
And then sort of pop music can often sort of be looked upon as a little bit vapid and I guess commercial, but these songs
Yeah.
are full of heart and emotion. Did you approach the creative process wanting to get that in there and having that in mind?
Yes, I think at some point right before writing a lot of the EP, I got really wigged out, and someone said to me, you need to write a hit. And that's just like the
That's
most terrible
impossible.
words. Like, what is a hit? What terrible. And then at some point I was just like, you know what? Just write how you're feeling and what you're going through. And I've always just wanted, the main thing is I want to be true to myself with a hint of extra and drama. So sometimes I'm definitely being over dramatic.
Yep. Yes, it's
But
turning your own personality right up to the max.
yeah, or a situation, make it 10 times more intense. Just, you know, but a lot of them, like all of them, come from personal situations. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that advice to just write a hit, like that's like
Oh,
an impossible task. Just
yeah, it's the worst thing you could say to a writer, because then they just no. Mm-mm.
it's better off. It'll be a hit if it's personal and it connects with people.
Exactly.
And then on July 15th, you'll be performing at the Lansdowne Hotel in Sydney. What can people expect from that show, and how are you feeling ahead of this upcoming tour?
I am very excited because I think my audience has grown a lot since my first show in Sydney. And I'm really, really grateful for that. I've some really good people alongside me and people that love my music. And so I'm just so excited to perform this EP and cry with the people in the audience. And yeah, I'm just really excited to do some shows, because I haven't done some big shows in a while. So yeah, I'm expecting to cry a lot, to be honest.
Okay, that's maybe not what people are expecting, but
I'll be jumping around on stage, that's for sure.
that's good. So finally, where is the best place for people to support you and track this creative journey as it moves forward?
Spotify, number one. Spotify or Apple Music, any music platform. Definitely Instagram is like Instagram and TikTok. I really love, it's a love-hate relationship for TikTok. Love TikTok, but you know.
Get sucked into that TikTok rabbit hole.
Scroll for hours. Yeah, definitely TikTok, because I post a lot of my teasers on there and I'll give little hints. Also Twitter. I post a lot of random stuff on Twitter. So just every social media platform, I post a lot. Yeah.
And is it all under the one handle?
Yes. Yes. It's all Charley Sucks. Yeah.
Okay.
I made that name because of my I suck at being lonely single. I needed to change it to have my Charley at the front of it. So we went through so many different options and I was like, Charley Sucks works because I sort of hate myself as well.
At least it's a good catchy one that nobody else is going to sort of try and steal from you.
Yeah.
Alrighty, awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me, and good luck with the EP and the tour.
Thank you so much. Are you going to be coming?
Potentially. That's right around my birthday, so I'm not sure what anybody else has planned.
Cool. Of course, that's so fine. So fine. Okay, well, thank you so much for having me, and have a great day.
Pleasure.